Hey guys, welcome back to Building Newcrest. I did build another building. I don't know if it's gone up yet, but we're going to build the gym today. I'm trying to figure out just exactly what shape I want. I think I'm going to try and do a triangle gym just because I feel like that is really unique. I love the diagonal or the diamond shape when you're building. It makes it a little bit harder to do things, but figured why not give it a go. This lot is one of the smallest lots in Newcrest. I did that on purpose so that whenever I build stuff like a gym, you don't want it to be huge on a huge lot because there's a lot of empty space, and I'd rather have something that requires that space on there. I'm sure that makes sense. Yeah, this is. I kept trying to figure out what door I wanted in the front here, and it was kind of hard for me because I don't like when doors are offset, and so I needed a two tile door, and then once I picked the two tile door, it didn't really fit in the way that I wanted it to, so I used the two spa doors. I feel like that worked a lot better. And then the first thing I did when I got everything built was try and figure out a way to do the bathroom. That I ended up completely scrapping. You'll see that this is not at all how I finished this building out. But I did go through and build an entire bathroom for my gym. I always start with the layout of the yard first, excuse me, the landscaping. I don't know why I do that. I just do. I feel like landscaping is a lot easier for me to envision than doing the inside sometimes. So yeah, I am trying to figure out trees that don't cover the top of the building. I really hate when you're trying to do stuff and there's trees on the building. Um, I realized after doing all of this, however, that it probably would have been easier to leave the trees until the end of the building. That just makes more sense when you're talking about trying to build because the trees can cover some of the angles that you need to be able to see. And I kept trying to figure out the windows because I wanted them to be tall windows, and for some reason my brain didn't tell me that I needed to click on the tall tab, but I figured it out. I am building on a MacBook, and that can be kind of challenging because of the controls being different than as if I were building on a different console. I did scrap all of these trees as well. I completely started over. I'm trying to put a little pond in, that way when you're working out and you can see through those huge big bay windows. I wanted you to have something to be able to look out on that was super pretty and kind of relaxing, tranquil, trying to get your sweat on. You want to be relaxed. You don't want to be super stressed out. And so I'm building a cute little pond, and then I tried to copy it and move it over on the side, but it's not fitting. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just build a new pond on that side so that, they match. And I did figure out that doing it in triangles is a lot easier than trying to do it squares or even those cute little mini triangles that I had before. I totally boo-booed and didn't make this side big enough, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now they're the same. Put a cute little trim on there, and then I don't keep that. I completely remove that because I feel like that didn't work out very well. I think what I'm most excited to build next is probably the restaurant because there is that new restaurant pack and I'm excited to use it. I really am excited to set up tables and a booth and maybe some cute mood lighting, and I think that'll be really adorable. And these little water fountain jet things. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't see the jet stream. When you place them, it usually shows you which direction the stream sprays. But then I clicked on these guys and I realized that it happens only on some of them. So that's fine. I realized the one on the left there, I didn't like that it was just so plain, so I kept trying to bling it up a little bit. I really wanted it to be a relaxing environment for the front of this building, and I wanted it to be like waterfally and pretty and just something to look at. Like, I don't like when you're at the gym or whatever and you're looking at the TV. Like, I want to see outside. I want to see a beautiful landscape. I want to be able to envision that I'm anywhere without having to have like that background noise or that annoying TV show in the background that you don't really want to watch, but you don't have a choice. Um, that like most gyms have. Really 95% of this project was me trying to figure out landscaping. The inside actually came together super easily, and you'll see that in a minute, but it was super easy for me to figure out what I was doing once I figured out the bathroom situation. And the landscaping here is really what I was trying to work on the most. All these little flowers. I really like the big flower bushes. I just wish that you could change the color of the flowers on some of them, because all of them are like this pinky color and you can't really change the color of all of them. And so I'm just going through and trying to figure out cute little plants to put on the backside of this waterfall. And I did realize that the begonias, they won't adhere to the waterfall because it's not technically a wall. And that's even with move objects off. That doesn't work. I tried the planter boxes as well. Still doesn't work. So I just kind of let that be. That was totally fine the way that it looks now. I liked it. Trying to hide that edge of the pond really was challenging for me. I don't like rocks in the ponds. I don't know why. That's just not an aesthetic that I like. I don't find it pleasing. So I was just using these flowers to try and do that. I feel like it did cover the pond up quite a bit using these. If I were to do this build again, I would probably make the building smaller so that I had more area around the outside edge to make those ponds a little bit bigger and be able to have a little more space in them. I mean, it's cute. It worked semi okay doing it the way that I did. I definitely think I can improve on that, though, in the future. And I might come back to this build, I don't know. So yeah, flowers. And then the corner here, I was looking for a bush, but it was way too big, so I ended up scaling it down just a couple so that it would fit too deep in this little area here. I want to see what you can see through the windows, and so yeah. I have a thing where I like things pressed right up against the building, but I don't like it going through the walls, so I always make sure you can't see through them when I do build. I end up deleting the wall that those are on altogether because that's a bathroom wall, and I changed how I did the bathroom. You'll see that later on. But I just moved those bushes around so that they weren't quite in the way. I felt with this build that I kept like losing track of like the vision. I kept going through and being like, okay, so what kind of flowers do I want here? And I would just stare at them, trying to figure out like what's talking to me, what would I like to see while I'm working out, when my muscles hurt, like what do I want to see that's visually pleasing that'll help me continue, trying to be fit. And I really like the flowers that you get in some of the newer packs. I feel like everything is just continuously improving, and that's really helpful and really nice for someone like me who's not new. I've been building on Sims 4 for years, but I'm relatively new to all of the different creative ways that you can use your Sims build. I didn't know, for example, until recently that I could even build diagonally. I thought everything had to be in a square. So that includes like cute little window walls and stuff, I didn't know you could do that. I don't know why, but I've figured that out. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, these little shower stalls were really cute, and I was trying to make like a locker room type situation here. I did go ahead and just completely delete this though. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I couldn't figure out how to put the walls up the way that I wanted it to. And so I just deleted it. But here you could see that like the diagonal wall was giving me a really big issue, and I just couldn't figure it out. Anywho, I'm having a really hard time in this game overall, trying to figure out how everything works in regards to like the bathroom building and stuff. So I've seen in a lot of the videos online people doing the like single tile challenge and whatnot. I haven't quite figured out if that means like just fitting everything in one tile or fitting everything in one tile where it's still usable. Because every time I've tried, even with move objects on, like my Sims don't want to use a shower that's right above a sink. Like they just won't use it. And I can't quite figure out how to make them. And so with these bathrooms, like I just struggle. And I struggle with the privacy aspect, like trying to imagine, is my sim gonna get embarrassed if I don't put each individual toilet in its own stall and whatnot? And those little stalls that come in the Discover University pack, I don't like the way that they look. They're not cute for me. I don't feel like they're very design friendly. So I don't like using them, so I tend to use these little dividers or partitions or whatever you want to call them to make my own little rooms for each toilet. And that just goes funny, so then I try using these little walls and this just doesn't work. So you can see here, I come in and I just completely delete the bathroom that I made. Like it's not even worth showing you because it just doesn't work on the slot and I feel like it was really awkward. So I'm just going to get rid of all of it and start over. Nothing wrong with that. I feel like the way that I worked it out after this looked a lot better. The only thing that I was a little concerned with was having two separate bathrooms, like one for men, one for women, but I figured it out and it looks really well. So I did like two little square bathrooms that were about the same size. Like I said, it's really hard to build squares on this diagonal lot. Like that was super difficult. And then I just went in here and then I'm doing the normal things. I really like these blue sinks. I don't know why. Like I just really like them. And then I really like this toilet because it matches the bathtub that I'm going to put in here. Like you can make them the same color. And so I kept it blue because it's a boys' bathroom. And in my head that just makes sense, like blue for boys, pink for girls. I know that that's super stereotypical and probably not the greatest way of thinking. That's just what I was thinking when I was building this. Keeping them color coordinated, whether it was blue, pink, purple, yellow, brown, like just keeping it color coordinated. And I do like the blue of the sink a lot, so I just kind of went with that for the boys. I do really love doing a separate shower and bathtub. I don't like, even in real life, the all-in-one, two-in-ones or whatnot. I like a big soaker tub and a separate shower stall. That just screams like fancy to me. Plus, I was trying to think, like with a small gym, I don't believe there'll ever be a need for more than just like two toilets, you know? You can change in the bathrooms and I'll put a locker system in there somehow so you can keep your stuff, and then bingo bongo, there you go. I'm not trying to do anything too over the top or fancy. It was really weird to me, and you'll see in a minute, I haven't put a door yet in this build, in this room, and that's because the bathtub sits funny in the diagonals, and so the door doesn't fit next to the bathtub. My Sims wouldn't be able to use it, and so I had to go in and I had to completely like make the room bigger so that the door would fit, and that was really weird to me. Ooh, yeah, I love these windows, the ones that you can change the color in. I believe these are from the Magic Magicians pack, and they are super useful if you're doing like a color coordinated room because they have so many different colors and they are actually really architecturally beautiful. The arches just super pretty. So yeah, here I go trying out the door. It's so funny because I used the men's only or the women's only doors. I think that's really cute. And then when I was trying to make this room bigger, it just didn't work. So I had to move everything around again, move the bathroom, bathtub, the shower, the sink, move it all, and then move it all again, trying to get it to fit. For some reason, I keep thinking that the objects move easier with move objects on, but they don't really. Like, I find it harder to figure out what's going to actually be workable with a sim. I feel like that's probably why move objects is a thing, is because you need to know that your sim is going to be able to use them. So here I am, I'm trying to figure out the colors for the girls' bathroom. I really liked this deep magenta color, so I went with that for the toilet, which of course means that I'm going to do the same thing for the bathtub and the sink. I feel like the sinks were like enough that it doesn't look like I'm piecing together a bunch of different things. Just keep going through trying to find the bathtub that goes to that toilet, and then I found it and I'm trying to center it here. That little cutout really made it perfect for that bathtub. I really like the way this looks. You can't have a bathroom without a toilet paper roll and a mirror. I've seen so many of these builds where like they don't put toilet paper in the bathroom, and like I understand this is a Sims game and they're going to use the toilet with or without toilet paper, but it's one of those details that really bugs me, so I'm going to of course try and do my best to put it in there, you know? All of these rugs are so huge, dude. All of them. I'm like trying to fit them all in and none of them fit, so I eventually just scale it down because I forgot I could do that. And then I don't want it in the shower stall, so I just put it right there underneath my sink. I think it's so cute. Keep your toes warm while you're brushing your teeth and stuff. Oh, my poor dog, man. I have a little 3-year-old Yorkie, and he just wants all the attention right now. These little windows, I told you, they're perfect, and then you can go through and make them pink. So cute. So cute. And then the lights. I really wanted to do the little paper lantern lights because I thought they were cute. A lot of the time when I'm building these things too, like I'm kind of on autopilot. I don't really know how it's gonna look until I look at it because I never go into these with a vision. Like I always just do it as I go along, and then at the end it is what it is kind of a thing, you know? Maybe that's not good, you know? Maybe I should try and go into it with a little bit more structure, but that's just me. That's just how I work on. Do you hear my little doggo? He's whining at me. I'm not giving him enough attention. I'll insert a picture of my dog. Oh, look at him. And he's so cute. He loves this little blue blanket so much, and his little Pikachu shirt. This blue blanket is microfiber, and it's his favorite. Anyway, you can probably hear him in the background of my stuff a lot because he's always in my lap, licking my face, licking my hands, wanting all of my attention. This gym did give me a little bit of an issue just because the move objects was on, and so I didn't know how close things would be without people being able to use them. And like I said before, I feel like that's probably, why they have that in this game anyway. And I did end up putting a couple of things in front of the door on accident, so I had to go through and fix that as well, just because the door does blend in so well with the windows, and it can be difficult. This massage chair, like I actually really like it in game when you're playing. I think it's super cute and adorable. These windows I think are amazing. I think if I were there working my buns off, I would love to be looking out at all of this stuff. But see what I mean? Like those are both in front of the door, so I had to move them. And then that meant that I had to move the whole gym around because I didn't want it to be like this weird, discombobulated, jumbled mess of just stuff everywhere. So I'm trying to find like a setup that works for all of the things that I wanted it to work for. I feel like 2 punching bags in a gym is a little excessive. I've never gone to a gym and seen 2 people on them at once. It's always just like one person with one person helping or like holding it if it's one that hangs from the ceiling. Cute little rug in front of the door. Now what flooring do I want in here? I feel like it should be a tile so it's easy to clean. But I also want it to be like a neutral color. Same with the walls. I feel like I want them to be relatively neutral. And all of these are really bright, but maybe that's not such a bad thing, you know, in such a dark gym. I'm not sure what lights I picked here. I do that a lot where I forget the lighting. And then lockers. I feel like the lockers are in a good place. If you walk into a gym, you can go to the back of the gym by the bathrooms, you know, where the lockers usually are. I feel like that was a good decision. And then this cute little walkway that I made. Ugh. I'm just in love with this little walkway. Kind of in love with this whole build, the way that it turned out. You'll see it's just like... I paid attention to the small details. And I feel like that's really what makes or breaks these builds is like the big details. Usually when I'm doing this stuff too, like I'm sitting down watching a movie on Netflix, and so I'm kind of not paying attention, and that means a lot of editing time because I have literally hours of footage where my mouse is just on the screen not doing anything because I'm watching TV. And then I'll see a house on TV and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I really like the way that looks. And then I'll come into the game again and be like, oh, do they have anything similar to that on the game? And then that just kind of spirals. So there are tons and tons and tons of houses in the Sims 4 world that I've made where it's just like, this is completely based on something I just saw on TV. This gym I have not, though. This was not inspired by that whatsoever. And just cleaning up the pathway that I had made. Because it can get a little messy. I don't like the way this is. I hope in the future they come up with a way for you to do the terrain outside based on tile as well, because I feel like that would work a lot better than the brush tool. And maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not extremely skilled. I'm filling in all the little blank spots here, which I shouldn't have done anyway because I do end up putting a fence up. And the fence goes right through the flowers. But, you know, stuff happens and that is what it is. We are getting to the end of this build, though. After I put the fence up, I believe I do the outside walls. I pick what I want my walls to look like on the outside, and then that is the endo, finito. That's the gym in Newcrest. Like I said, this is the second video that I filmed. However, I had trouble uploading the first one, I think because it is such a large file size. So I will try and figure that out without compromising on the quality. I did get it to upload from my iPad faster than it would from my computer. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because my computer's from 2016, so it's a little old. I don't know. Even plugged into like the internet, it didn't upload, so I'm thinking I'm going to figure out how to get it on my iPad without ruining the quality. If I can figure that out, then I will post that video next. So you can see the first house I built in Newcrest. It's quite adorable, if I do say so myself. I definitely like the way this turned out. See, I'm moving the little bushes because I got rid of that little bathroom that was there. So cute, man. And then, man, I add so much foliage to the outside of this house. Like, the outside of this house is just, this gym. I keep saying house. Whoops. The foliage on the outside of this gym is just amazing. I'm a plant person, though. Like, I have plants all over my house, even in real life, and I am a super green thumb, and I just love keeping them alive, the way they smell, like, how pretty they are. It just feels like, almost like when you have a pet, you know? You really learn to love them. right, guys, so this is the finished build. I really love the way that this turned out. This is so beautiful. I did all this beautiful foliage on the outside so you have something beautiful to look at from the inside. I really like the pink and blue bathrooms and then all the equipment that I decided to include. Man, this is just so pretty. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.